Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our CEO Talks. I think, Colin, we were discussing before, this is our fifth already. And we are very proud to welcome Andreea Stanescu. Andreea Stanescu is the General Manager of the London Stock Exchange in Romania to discuss about the challenges of the period we are going through and leadership, and to give us her opinion on leadership in times of uncertainty. Andreea, can you say a few things about yourself, and then I will let my good friend Colin to start the interview.
Sure. Thank you, Mamas. I really welcome and appreciate this invitation. So thank you, Mamas, calling. A few words about myself. I've joined London Stock Exchange in Romania in its first year, so in 2018, as a general manager with the aim of help this center grow in order to take advantage of the huge human potential that exists in Romania. Prior to that, my career has been built around operational leadership and marketing experience. I've spent 14 years with Vodafone. My past 7 years were with Stefanini, which is an international outsourcing company, and I led the operations for the EMEA region there.
Okay, thanks, Andreea. Good to see you again. We're seeing each other regularly as fellow directors with the British Romanian
Indeed.
Chamber of Commerce, along with our friend Mamas as well. So I'm going to come straight out of the blocks at you, Andreea, with a direct question: what comes first in a crisis, business or people?
Well, thank you for the question. It's a topic that is very dear to me. In good and bad times, actually, people are the ones or break your business. People are the ones that bring you success, and they are the ones that can let you down. So that's why, in my opinion, I'm a strong believer of the first, that people need to come first, not only in crisis, at all times, but particularly in crisis, because in such times, actually, they are having their fears. There is a lot of emotion around, and we have to be considerate of the fact that in most of the cases, probably for them, the level of uncertainty and concerns that come with such times are actually bigger than ours as business leaders or entrepreneurs.
Okay. I guess there's a direct correlation there, isn't it, by what you just said, that if you do take care of your people, they will in turn take care of the business. The business is going to be better shape if your people are in good shape as well, I think, is what you're saying there, isn't it? So there is a benefit of that. From going in terms of your own organization, I think we've got the data, the experience now. I think 12 months ago, when we talked about people working from home, there was a little bit of uncertainty of productivity, efficiency, loyalty, all of those, and security, of course. And now the coronavirus has forced us into that. How have you managed in terms of that big shift from working in the office to working remote? It kind of happened pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, indeed, it had to. Actually, as a systemically important financial market infrastructure services, for us, it's a primary responsibility. It's a huge responsibility to ensure the continuity of the business and function of the markets. So that's why, ever since January, when the crisis, when the outbreak started in China, we've started to build our plan to make sure that we ensure the continuity of the business. But everything we had in mind when deploying those plans in various geographies was that we had to put our people first, and we had to ensure their health and well-being in order before anything else. So indeed, it did happen overnight. There was a whole amount of preparation that we've done before that, and of course, as we got into this, because this was new for us as well as leading as people leaders, we also had to look permanently, especially in the first couple of weeks, what are the things that we need to do additionally in order to take care of our people and of the business. Actually, what are the how we should run the meetings, have done covering the need for people to communicate, to be informed, to have well-being sessions, offering people opportunities to use this time actually to learn new things and develop new skills. So yeah, it seems like it happened overnight, but as for anyone else, I'm pretty sure from the business, it did mean a lot of work. But it was good to see that people stay engaged, and it was great to see the outcome, actually.
I think you're right. I think it has been a surprise how engaged people have remained. I think it's probably due to platforms like the one we're on today that's kept that happening, but also the efficiencies and some of the good things that are coming through. So, but what about in terms of managing it? Not every person in the team has the same sort of DNA. So, managing people can be very, very different depending on the individual. How different is it when you're managing people in a crisis compared with managing remotely? And what would your advice be for listeners out there?
Well, what the crisis brings versus the business as usual environment, it's obviously the emotion that comes with it. Yeah. During the crisis times, there is more tension. So we really felt that it's important to take care of people's emotions, to talk to the people, to understand what kind of support they have. This is not only with us, but it's common to any other business, I presume, irrespective of the size. So I truly believe that staying close to the people, understanding their needs, making the people part of the solution, because for a lot of businesses, yeah, we were lucky being in an industry where we could continue to operate from home, but this was not the case for everybody else. And I truly believe that in order to keep the people closer to make sure that the same people will actually help you bring the business back on track once the new normal is in place. Yeah, it's really important to be open to the people, to share your concerns, to make them part of the solution. Managing remote, yes, it was a learning experience for us. On the other hand, I wrote yesterday a very interesting, read yesterday a very interesting article that was saying that once you have one person working remote, you kind of you can state that actually you have a remote team, because people are not all in the same place. So that being said, we all managed remotely before. It's just that this time it was different because everybody was in a different place. There is no yet, let's say, a silver bullet on how the successful remote management is to be operated. But the basic principles, in my view, remain when managing remote. Communicate, share, stay in touch. Don't over control. Trust your people to do the job, and they will surprise you.
Okay, really good advice. And I guess it varies in terms of that support that you're giving them. Just very quickly on that then. So with people who are, when you're forced into a situation, your natural instinct is to fight against that enforcement, if you like. And I guess now you're getting to the stage where it's kind of, people can start coming back into the office. How are you supporting those people who still have that fear and trepidation about even stepping outside of their homes? What's your advice for people on that?
Well, we basically continue, and we will continue defining an approach that is based on the main key principle, which is people health and well-being first. We will definitely take a stepped approach. We are actually, for us, actually, it's really important to share our approach within the group colleagues and to make sure that we stay aligned. Particularly for what's happening on the local market, I believe it's really important for leaders actually not only to let people return of their own comfort if this is possible and if working from home was successful, but also to make sure that from an office setup perspective all the measures are in place in order to ensure sanitization and safety of the employees. On the other hand, people need training on how to behave in the new world. And last but not least, people need leaders that lead by example. So we need to, as leaders, we need to make sure that we are guiding our people because they look at us and our behavior will reflect in their behaviors. And we know and we've learned during these times that in the society we have to follow certain rules, and for the good of all of us, it's really important to do that.
Okay, thank you for that, Andrea. Mamas, I'm going to give you a breather, Andrea. I'm going to come to Mamas very quickly on this subject because you've got a lot of clients who are obviously talking to, etc. And what is the feeling that you're getting on this in terms of this remote versus the office? Are they actually seeing some nice benefits from both sides, and we'll be happy to continue that with certain individuals, certain departments?
Yeah. We get mixed feelings from our clients as well as from our organization as well. People, they miss the interaction, staying together with colleagues, discussing about the small things of life, which this is what it matters to transfer the emotion. However, on the other hand, working from home conditions can really boost efficiency and agility of an organization.
That's true.
Something where we are looking ourselves as well. We plan to encourage also our people, and when we are asked by clients, we are encouraging them to analyze and see some departments if they can partially or for a foreseeable future to continue working from home, because also the new reality we are living in without the vaccine, as we were discussing in the previous sessions, is still there, and it will follow for a certain period of time. Andrea mentioned a lot of things which I would like to underline. To engage the team, to engage our people, to help on their emotions, and to keep agility and efficiency very, very high as well in the agenda.
Okay. And I can add one more advantage of working from home is when you go to the kitchen, you can find your coffee cup. So, which has been very important for me. Andrea, we're going to come to the final question for you, and it's really about leadership. And I'm really interested in your answer to this, because you kind of touched on it, that we're evolving, our people are getting used to different ways of working, but as leaders, we're having to adapt. Will you do things differently when it comes to leadership once this crisis is over? And secondly, what advice would you give to other leaders watching this video right now?
Sure. I believe every situation we face in life, it's an opportunity to learn something from. Whether good or bad, whether a crisis or a good time, we are better off if we take even a short time to reflect what we could learn from it. And this crisis and the way we as humanity and we as business environment dealt with it, first of all, I think we should give each other a pat on the back because we did pretty well. Yeah. But on the other hand, the pace of speed of the change was enormous. So, and there are a lot of lessons that we can, and in my view, we will need to learn from this. We've learned to trust our employees literally overnight from working at all the time at home, which is a fantastic thing. We will need to understand and define the right balance and how the new how we will define our limits and if we will be more flexible. Most probably, as Mama said, yes. We will also need to reflect upon the processes that during the lockdown were severely simplified, and we should actually balance the risk of doing them like we did them during the lockdown versus returning to the old way of doing things. For some businesses, as you asked me, I believe it's also going to be important to ask themselves how resilient their business is. Should they move more of their business online? Should they diversify the portfolio so that they can survive to such an experience with as much as possible minimum impact? So all of this, in my opinion, are huge opportunities for learning, and if we take them as opportunities, if we look at the half full of the glass, we will have a lot of gains out of it. For us as leaders, similarly, we should take the time to reflect on how well we did, what were the mistakes that we've made, and also what are the good things that we want to keep in relationship to ourselves and our relationship with our people.
Okay, that's really good advice, and I know you well enough, Andreea, and I know in terms of leadership, it's what you're saying is not just leading with your head, lead with your heart as well, and get that good combination, and you're in good shape. So, Andreea, thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed our chat. I hope to see you in real life sometime soon. But in the meantime, take good care of yourself, and my regards to your team. And Mamas, I'm going to hand back to you for the final words.
Thank you, Colin. I have nothing much to say. Andreea mentioned everything so well. Andreea, thank you so much. You gave us some very good insight on what leadership means in these times and what we need to look after and to look after our people, which is one of the significant capitals of our organizations. Many successes to what you are doing. And as Colin said, see you soon live.
Thank you very much, both. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Mamas. And I enjoyed it as well. I look forward to see you in person as soon as possible. Thank you.